également, elle vient de faire son apparition dans l'Arena Paris Nord, mesdames et messieurs, la mascotte officielle de Paris 2024, alias Fifi.
Hello and welcome to the North Paris Arena here for day 7 of sitting volleyball at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Up next is the 7-8 classification match for the men's competition, with hosts France taking on a very talented Ukrainian team for a 7th place finish here in the men's competition. This is what's coming up, but our focus now is on this match between France and Ukraine for their final game at Paris 2024. Neither team have managed to win so far in pool play, and they're both no doubt hungry for victory here today before they leave Paris. They're taking the court now as equals, but they can only be one winner. We've got all of the players now on court, getting their warm-ups in, just taking a moment to get used to the atmosphere. This is a loud arena, and today's no exception. We're full of school children, the energy is really high, and all of these players are gonna need to take this moment just to settle in, focus in on their game plan, and just get used to their surroundings. The fans are already rallying behind the home team, France, which makes the Ukrainians' job a little bit more difficult. But this squad is much more experienced than France, which gives them a bit of an edge over the home nation. Both teams finished 4th in their pool play. They're definitely going to be looking for a win here today, wanting to leave Paris with a victory under their belts. This is the last game of the competition for both Ukraine and France, and the outcome will determine who walks away with 7th place. We don't want to discount France, of course. They're a very talented team. They're a brand new squad. There was no sitting volleyball in the country of France before 2017. And this team has done an incredible job of developing and building their skills in the lead up here to Paris 2024. They're laying an incredible foundation for the future of the sport here in the host nation, and leaving their own legacy here in Paris regardless of what the outcome of today's match is. Paris's libero, Cyril Chaboun, his hairstyle's been pretty popular, really notable. You won't miss that. It's lovely to see the Agitos on display. The teams will have 10 minutes of warm-up. They're already about halfway through that. Going back to the service line, warming up those shoulders. Once again, just taking those last few moments to settle into the court before we start the competition today. The French team, all making their Paralympic debut. Look out for Damien Roger and Romain Volnovich, both big scorers, and they're headed up by coach Dominique Duvivier. France are 0-3 in pool play before entering the classification match today, losing to some very strong teams like Bosnia, Iran, Germany, and Egypt. And on the Ukrainian side of the court, look out for Captain Bichenko. He's a big scorer for Ukraine, along with Melnik and Petrichuk. They're all Paralympians, so look for plenty of points for them. Been a long road for Ukraine. The last time they appeared at the Paralympic Games was in Rio in 2016. They finished 5th, and they're headed up by Pavlo Miklik. He coached the team to a bronze at the European Championships and a 1st at the final qualifier, which is how they found themselves here in Paris. Ukraine as well, 0-3 in pool play, but they were able to take a set off of a very strong Brazilian and German squad, so they're going to be looking to prove themselves here on the court today. You can really get a sense of the energy in here. The DJ and the presenters keeping the crowd really involved, really loud. That's going to provide a lot of energy for the players to feed off of and get that adrenaline pumping, and hopefully ensure we get to see some incredible sitting volleyball today in the North Paris Arena. We're just about ready to get this match underway, but before we get started, We'll hear the anthems of Ukraine and, of course, the Marseillaise of France.
North Paris Arena, please rise if you are able for the anthem of Ukraine.
Mesdames et messieurs, la Marseillaise.
And now, the anthem of France.
No doubt a very special moment for both teams as they hear their national anthems played here in the North Paris Arena one last time. It never gets old as an athlete hearing your home nation's anthem. It reminds you just why you're here and what you're here to accomplish. Both teams just giving each other little messages of good luck, usually exchanging gifts before they head back to their own teams and their bench, giving themselves those last-minute reminders of what their game plan is and what their best chances are of coming out on top in this match today. The teams only entered the court here a few moments ago, but their preparations will have started hours, if not even further back than that. We're here to meet our officials. They'll keep everything in order and make sure everyone's following the rules. Our first referee is Madi Navidino of Iran, and he'll be supported on the other side of the net by Mirza Basic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. They'll be watching out over both teams, making sure they're all following the rules. And we see our starting lineup now for Team France. Be hearing it for Ukraine, excuse me. Captain Denis Bichenko. followed by Maxim Petrenchuk. Number 8, Roman Prishchepa. Number 10, Yuri Kovalchuk. Number 13, opposite hitter Dmitro Minik. And Oleksiy Karlamov at setter position, and they'll be supported by libero Yuri Kovalchuk in the back row. And now for the home team lineup. Number 5, Cyril Chaboun. Number 9, Jean-Christophe Rambaud. Number 11, Gildas Jihenov. Number 14, Benjamin Lacroix-Demaz. That's our captain. Number 15, Romain Volnovich. 16, Thibault Lefrançois, excuse me. Number 17, Damien Roger. Getting all the teams out here on the court. Everybody getting in position before we get this show on the road. Crowd is especially eager to see things get started. We've got liberos on court now, which means we are in the final moments before this match begins. It's France in white serving, Ukraine in blue receiving for this men's 7-8 classification match at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. And that's a good start for the home nation, France, an easy point for them. Ukrainian hitter just hitting long, but they won't be making that mistake many times today. And that's an easy side out for Ukraine. As Prishchepa takes the service line. Oh, that's an unlucky break for France. It's a good serve by Ukraine. This Ukrainian team is really, really experienced. They've been playing for a long time. And that's an ace for Prishchepa. Laser sharp accuracy, going for that gap in between the two French receivers. They were both looking at each other like, oh, are you gonna get that? We finally got a pass up on the French side and a swing, it goes long. That's a great effort by Roger, great to see France getting a nice pass up. It's really difficult to get your offense going if you can't get that ball up to your setter. Great recovery by France, good coverage. It's a big swing, but that Ukrainian block, especially with Denis Petchenko there, it's huge. It's great placement by the Ukrainians. He was in exactly the right spot. Ball bounced off the French hitter. And it's a side out for France. Easy point for them. Ukrainian libero now coming onto court. You'll see he's in a different colored shirt than the rest of his teammates. That's because the libero is a defensive specialist. They're able to move on and off the court and make substitutions without having to formally stop the game. There's rules that limit what they're allowed to do as they play. They can only play in the back row. They're not allowed to attack the ball. But boy, are they fast, and you'll see him sliding all over this floor. This is great play by France, really good coverage. They give that back to Ukraine, pick it up again, and it's a kill! Jean-Christophe Rambaud putting the ball exactly where it needed to go. Crowd goes wild. That's really nice movement. You can touch the ball with your foot in volleyball, and a great idea by Rambaud to take that ball on two, catch those Ukrainian defensive players off guard. And he's back to serve now, but it's a side out for Ukraine. Horiakin now back to the service line. Oh, that's a tricky ball. When those serves bounce off the net, it'll throw off the trajectory. The receivers are usually then in the wrong place. Rambo did well to get his hand on that, and it's a nice ace for Ukraine. Oh, it's another swing, good swing for Roger. Oh, he chases that ball down, not able to get his hand on it. Ukrainian players really showing how experienced they are. They know this game. They can play smart, they move very well, and it's a timeout called from France.
Au mieux votre équipe, mesdames et messieurs. À 3, vous allez taper des pieds le plus fort possible. À 3, on tape des pieds tous ensemble. 1, 2, 3. Regardez, ici, il y a le boîte de service, d'accord? On peut pas être surpris de la Derrière, on tient le joueur plus fort possible. On peut protéger en réception de service. Et même si on se dit, c'est quoi l'intervalle, à un moment donné, on va pas tomber. Mais on est sur ça. Attention, le plus fort possible. À 3, on crie très fort, cassez-nous les oreilles. 1, 2, 3.
You can see from some of the fans' reactions just how loud it is in this arena. It's a great environment to play volleyball in, especially for the French team. They're here on home turf, and they've got most of this arena right behind them. And that ball goes out of bounds. As soon as the ball touches or passes outside of the two aerials that you can see in red and white on either end of the net, that ball is automatically out of bounds. So it's a point for Ukraine. Horiakin still at the service line. That's a great up. Good coverage there at the net. But it's an unlucky shot. It goes just out of bounds. France able to finally side out as Roger takes to the service line. That's a shame. Karlamov had to really hustle to try and get outside that ball. The set was just a little bit off of its mark, and he really struggled. He tried to get it over the net, but once again, going outside that aerial, automatic out of bounds, and a point for France. Great serve from Roger. Ukraine struggling to get a bit of a rhythm here. There we go. Lovely swing by Ukraine's Minik. France struggling to get that ball up. But here we go. He finds that hole in the French block. Roger tries to get hands on it. He's just not able to get a good contact. Oh, and that call goes in favor of France. Referee called the Ukrainian blockers for an error. It was either, I believe it was a net touch. In sitting volleyball, players are allowed to touch the bottom of the net. You'll see their legs are going across that center line. That's totally allowed as long as they don't interfere with play. But when it comes to the top of the net and that higher up tape, they are not allowed to go anywhere near that. As soon as they touch it, it's a point for the other team, and that's a great kill for a side out by Petrenchuk. Lovely swing into the French block. Wasn't quite where it needed to be, and that ball ricocheted out of bounds. Pachenko to serve. Good attempt. Good to see France getting some swings in. These are good serves by Pachenko. That's another point for Ukraine, and a net touch on the French side. Libero struggling to get that ball up to the setter and over the net. It went right on top of it, and that's really difficult for a player to play the ball back into the court. It's good coverage there by Ukraine, ready for that block from France. Oh, and it's a lovely soft touch, but Ukraine able to block that. And it's a kill for France. Really, really good effort on the French side, getting some nice sets up to their hitters. Ukraine just not able to dig that ball out. That's a brilliant hit from the middle through the block. And a great big swing. Oh my gosh, and the French defender is able to save that. Just over the net, but Ukraine's Menik was there waiting. That's a huge swing. Big swing from Przyczepa. That's an excellent hustle by all of the defensive players. It's not easy to slide around on this floor. You've got to use your arms and your hands to move as well as play the ball. Takes a lot of coordination and a lot of speed. That's another great kill for France. This time it's Lefrancois with the big arm from the back row. Great point by the host nation. Excellent use of the Ukrainian block. Kharlamov attempts to get his hands on it, but nobody else can get to it. Volnovits to serve. Oh, it's a lovely big swing from the middle, but this time Przyczepa not able to connect with that French block, and the ball sails out of bounds. It's an easy point for France. It's a lovely quick set to the outside, but the French defender is getting that up. Great effort. Ukraine back in a rhythm, another big swing, and a follow-up by Przyczepa. Don't let that ball come anywhere near the net. Ukrainians ready and waiting for that. That's great defense on the Ukrainian side. Petrenchuk to serve now for Ukraine. Lovely coverage again by France. Oh, it's a great pickup by Ukraine. It's an easy ball for France. Can they turn this around into a point? Oh, it's a great effort by Libero to save that. Ukraine on very good form today. They've got great defense. They're very, very fast, really good at the net, good at closing those blocks, as you saw there. Oh, that's a lovely swing and a kill from Damien Roger. That's a great cut shot, just nicks the line. Right on the inside of that Ukrainian block. That was excellent shot. It's a big swing from Ukraine's Kharlamov. France able to return it. It's an easy ball for Ukraine if they're going to be able to capitalize on it, but the French are still there. This is excellent play on both sides of the net, lots of hustle. Oh, it's a great effort to get that out of the net. And his rally goes on. And it's a point for Ukraine as France touched the net. Great effort on both sides. Ukraine really moving the set around. That makes it difficult for the blockers to close again. Przyczepa back to serve. Roger going for one more swing, but this time it hits that antenna again. Going for that line shot, it looked like Horiakin was leaving him a bit of space there, just missing out. Ukrainian server serving it into the net. Captain Vikchenko tries to save it. He held it against the net. He knew that was a carry, so he just thought he'd slam dunk it instead. Rambeau now serving for France. Off the Ukrainian block, and that's an ace! Unfortunate, the Ukrainian block just reaching a little bit too far. It's so tempting But when the ball ricochets off your fingertips, you've got no control over that. You're better off just letting your receivers take it. Bichenko. Excuse me, that was Kortnitz up to swing. Bichenko with another big block, but this time it goes out. And that's another kill for Damien Roger. Oh, that's just a bit unlucky for the Ukrainian blocker. But a great swing by Roger, and another point for France. They're slowly closing this gap now that Ukraine has created. There's still a chance. We're still a little ways off the end of this set. Bichenko up for a big swing, and it's an easy kill for him. He is a monster at the net. Just look at that reach he has. Pinpoint accuracy, hitting around that block, straight in between defenders. France didn't have a chance on that. Oh, what coverage by France there. Jagu flying across the court, excuse me, Rumbo flying across the court. Picking up, that's great coverage on the block. Once again, Ukrainian blockers exactly where they need to be. Bichenko is so fast in the middle of the net. It's exactly what his defense needed to protect them from that hit. Nice easy ball over to France. Can they convert? Oh, Lacroix Demaz goes for a deep push into that back line, but he just pushes a little bit too far. Ukraine know that's out. They let that fall. It's a timeout called by France. They no doubt need to come up with a slightly different game plan to stop this Ukrainian team from advancing any further. Players coming back out on court. We've got a Ukrainian substitution. Number 4, Andrei Sikalski takes the floor. As Ukraine's Horyakin still back at the service line. It's a really nice pass by the French libero, which lets the setter get a lovely pass out to Lacroix Demaz for a big kill for France. Ukraine's Bichenko not quite closing there with his body. He had to reach across, which gave the French hitter a perfect opportunity. That's a nice pickup for Ukraine. Good stretch. It's an easy ball to France. Oh, that's a great coverage by the Ukrainian defense. And France get the point. Captain Bichenko struggling to get that ball over. He has to have a perfectly clean contact if he's going to volley that ball over, and didn't quite get that. You can see when the ball starts spinning, that's an indicator to the referee that that touch wasn't quite legal. It's Bichenko with another big swing. France block is there. But Bichenko shows up for a big block of his own, and that's a Ukrainian side out. That's good reading from the Ukrainian captain. And Ukraine inch ever closer to the end of this set. Teams have to get to 25 points to win a set, and they win the match by winning 3 sets out of 5. That's a point for Ukraine as the French hitters called for a lift. One of the key differences between sitting volleyball and its standing counterpart is players have to have somewhere on their body between their hips and their shoulders touching the floor when they contact the ball. Otherwise, it's an automatic point for the other team. That's a lovely roll shot into the middle of the court on the Ukrainian side, but they're able to pick it up. There's another big swing. Volnovich getting another kill. North Paris Arena is coming unglued. What a great line shot. Coronet's not ready. The French team are showing a lot of resilience here. They're taking advantage of these opportunities that Ukrainian team are giving them. It's a real testament to the development of this squad over the last several years. It's not easy starting a sport like this from scratch. When the French sitting volleyball program was started in 2017, there were no teams playing sitting volleyball in the country. That's a great pickup, but it's a Ukrainian point. But as of today, there are more than a dozen sitting volleyball teams playing in the country of France. That's a huge legacy that this team leaves the country as they conclude their Paris journey today. That's a big win for Ukraine, 25-16 over host France.
North Paris Arena, please welcome on court the dance crew, French Wings.
Stats tell a little bit of a story, but the Ukrainians just stronger, bigger, and more accurate in this set. French team coming out with some big swings of their own, getting a lot of good points on the board. We'll see what they can do in this next set against Ukraine.
Est-ce que vous êtes capable de mettre toutes et tous vos téléphones portables? Essayez de les allumer le plus rapidement possible. Vous devriez être 1500, 2000 dans les tribunes à avoir ces téléphones portables allumés. Et dans quelques instants, on va aller de gauche à droite. Vous allez entendre, ça va faire left, right, et c'est parti. On commence à gauche. Mettez-vous bien à gauche, à gauche, à gauche, à gauche, à gauche. Et on lève le plus possible. Très bien.
Ukraine and France taking the court once again. We're going to get set 2 back on track with a 7-8 classification match. Oh, that's a great start by Ukraine. Big block on the outside by Karlamov. He's supported by Koremets for a nice close. Sheba to serve. Some lovely coverage on the French side. It's a nice easy point for Ukraine as they struggle to get it in. That's a great block by Kornitz. But the point goes to France. Damien Roger back to serve. That's a lovely pass by the Ukraine receiver. They're able to get a great kill up by Kharlamov. When this team gets into rhythm, they're extremely strong offense. And that's a really good demonstration of what they're capable of. Oh, that's a nice, easy pass over to Ukraine. Kornitz looks like he's not in the right spot. That ball lands in a completely empty part of the net. That is great sight by the French team for a really lovely side out, tying this set up 2-2. Ukraine out of sorts again. Petrenchuk gives the captain a nice quick set, but he just can't quite reach it, and that ball falls to the floor. That's another point for France. It's great coverage by France, and that's a kill! That's a lovely kill for Lefrançois. Really nice play. He found that open spot on the court with ease. There was a big gap on the line. Nobody in the back row for Ukraine. France take the lead by 2 points now. Pachenko going up for a big swing. His team able to support him. He's just getting rid of that ball. Oh, and it's another kill! France clocking up the points now. Super, super hit. Once again by Lefrançois. He's really picking apart this Ukrainian defense. He's locked in on the court. He's finding those empty spots. That's exactly what his job is, and he's doing it very well. That's great defense once again by France. These are some big swings by Ukraine. They're getting most of them up. That last one, though, ended in a lovely kill. Great coverage by Lacroix. But it's Pachenko once again, big and strong at the net for a lovely kill for them. Kornitz back to serve. Pachenko for a big swing off the block, out of bounds. Point goes to Ukraine. Pachenko's a seriously experienced player. He's been playing for many, many years. It's a nice roll shot across the court, but Ukraine able to handle that with pretty easy. And it's a huge swing once again from the French side. Rambo for a back row kill to that back corner. He's making it look so easy. The Ukrainian defense just seems a bit stuck in their spots. They're not moving and covering the empty spaces on the court like they usually would. That's giving France a nice little advantage, and they're doing very well to use those opportunities. That's a nice pass by Ukraine. Big swing from Petrenchuk, giving them a nice kill. Once again, just finding those opportunities, this time on the French block. Zhianov just not penetrating over that net. That allowed the Ukrainian player to play the ball off of his hands. It's a nice point for Ukraine as France struggle to get that ball back over as they tie this back up 6-6. Pachenko, he's a great big player. He's a huge offensive player, and with a serve at 82 kilometers an hour, he's quite a force to be reckoned with, literally. The French team called for a carry by the referee, so that's an automatic point to Ukraine. Good coverage there by Ukraine. French team running into each other a little bit. That resulted in a double touch. You can't have two players touching the ball at the same time. That sometimes happens. It's an automatic point for Ukraine. And Bitchenko back to the service line again. That's a nice, soft, short serve. Those aren't easy to do. The French team were able to get it up, but not able to convert it into a point. And that's a timeout called by France. Here in Paris have been second to none this Paralympic Games. They're the talk of the whole competition, and certainly a highlight of being here in North Paris Arena. They're so loud, they bring so much energy. They're almost like a seventh teammate to their countrymen on the court. Some people have said they deserve a medal of their own in this Games. These athletes don't often play in front of crowds, none nearly this big. And a lot of the teams have really enjoyed being here in the arena in that atmosphere. French team doing very well. Bit of a miscommunication there between Rambo and Libero Shaboun. That's another point for Ukraine as they start to pull ahead in this second set. Oh, that's a huge swing by Bitchenko. Huge ace. That's a nice up by Libero. That's a big swing from the back row. Ukraine able to do that, handle that. France just doing well to keep this ball alive. That's a big block they have to go up against, and it lands on their side for a nice point for Ukraine. They're a big team, and when you have a big team of blockers, you've got to keep that ball off the net. If you can give your hitters a little bit of distance, gives them a little bit better vision of what they're up against. France calling another timeout.
Levez les drapeaux, levez les drapeaux, levez les drapeaux.
One of the legacies of having this sitting volleyball competition here in Paris is just getting the sport out in front of thousands and thousands of fans. It's a really good opportunity to grow the sport, not just here in France, but elsewhere around the world as people see it on the television. That's another point for Ukraine. France called on an error. You can see a little bit of frustration there by some of the players. That's easy to do. Stakes are high. There's a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline pumping. Bitchenko still back to serve for Ukraine. French are going to have to find a way to get this back. It's good coverage, but that's a side out for France. A welcome point for them as Ukraine called for a lift. It's really tempting sometimes, especially when you're out of position, you're reaching for that ball just to give yourself that little bit of extra space. You don't even know you're doing it sometimes, but these referees are looking out for it. Volnovich has a nice serve over to Ukraine. That's a lovely tip, but it's picked up by the French defenders. Ball goes just out of bounds. Ukraine really struggled to reach for that, but it, of course, touches the aerial. It's out of bounds. Volnovich back at the service line. This North Paris arena is coming alive again. Bitchenko pushing that over on one. That's a lovely swing. by Prishchepa. They haven't had a lot of opportunities to swing so far this set. So it's nice to see them get their offense together. It's a lovely line shot. Oh, that's a great swing. Easy point for Ukraine. France really struggling now. They seem to be not really knowing where each other are. There's some communications issues going on. No doubt it's just a bit of jitters. They're falling quite behind in this set, and they'll be desperate to catch up, but you've just got to hold your nerve in situations like this and play volleyball the way you know how. Ukraine finally getting those big swings, engaging that offense that's gotten them as far as it has. Petrenchuk really showing his quality there, taking that easy line shot. Menik still on the service line. He's really putting France through their paces. They try something a little bit different, pushing a tip out to the wings, but just a little bit off target, out of bounds. And another point for Ukraine as they march slowly on to the end of this set. That's a good ball on two. Ukraine able to get that up. It's an easy ball for France. They need to get a swing on this. But it's a big block by Petrenchuk. He was all over Roger there. Did a really nice job moving at the net, getting those hands over and not letting that ball come back over. We've got a Ukrainian substitution. Andrei Prishchepa on court now. Oh, that's a tough ball. That was all Ukraine could do. They had to try and get that as it was rolling out of bounds off of one of their blockers, but just a little bit too much there and it flies out of bounds. That's a big block though. Prishchepa making his presence known on the court now that he's here. It's Ukrainian side out. Petrenchuk back to serve. There's a French substitution. Gilles Agianov coming off on the court. Oh, that's a big swing. Roman Prishchepa ready and waiting at the net. You can't give an overpass to this team. That's a good recovery there from France. It's an easy ball for Ukraine. They need to get a swing on this. Oh, but it's a lovely block. But France called for a lift. Point goes for Ukraine. Once again, France struggling to get a nice pass off of that, but they're able to recover it. Ukraine now getting into a nice rhythm. They're getting some good passes, getting some good swings. That's a great up by France. Libero just trying to get rid of it, give his team a little bit of time to reset, and that's exactly what they needed. That's a huge block for Damien Roger. He's a big player, he's talented. He had a great read on that, great penetration over the net. Lovely side out for France. Oh, that's another huge block, but referees are all over these lift calls. La Croix de Mas is so disappointed with that. It's a terrible feeling. You don't always know you're doing it when you're playing. Got another substitution for Ukraine. Anatoly Andrushenko subbing in for Roman Prishchepa. And Andrushenko replaces his teammate at the service line. That's a lovely pass. Oh, it's a great swing, but that big Ukrainian block able to close and shut down Lefrancois. Ukraine 2 points off of set point. Oh, that's a lovely swing. Oh, once again, point goes to Ukraine. That's another lift call for France. When you get a series of those calls, it can sometimes be a sign that you've got some jitters, got some anxiety going on your team. People are just trying a little bit too hard. French team just need to settle back in time for the next set. We are on set point for Ukraine as Andrushenko continues on the service line. Lovely coverage, good blocking from Ukraine. And that's a great kill for Roger, keeping this set alive for France. He's been a great asset to them so far at the net. Finding that cross-court shot, Ukraine left that wide open. Easy kill for him. Lovely pass by Ukraine, getting themselves a nice swing. French not able to get that ball up. That concludes set 2 in this 7th place classification match. It's a lovely close, but the French middle blocker just a little bit late getting out there, not able to get a solid contact on that ball. But we've seen some great things from the host nation, hopefully seeing a few more. Ukraine easily taking set 2, putting themselves 2-0 over the hosts, 25-16, 25-11. Ukraine able to get their offense up and running. We saw some huge kills from them. France had a few of their own, but their defense right neck and neck with Ukraine's. They've just got to find a way to complete those transitions and get that ball back.
Allez, on peut applaudir encore une fois bien fort ceux qui se lèvent très tôt le matin, qui viennent ouvrir l'Arena Paris Nord, qui se couchent tard le soir.
French fans not letting up here in the North Paris Arena. French team down 2 sets already to Ukraine, but these French fans don't let anything stop them. They're here to give their team some love, and they're doing a very good job of that. It's France serving now to start off set number 3. Ukraine start off with a nice strong swing from Bichenko. It goes wide. An easy point for the host nation. Jihinov back to the service line. It's a lovely pass from Ukraine once again. Nice roll shot, but it's a great pickup. France doing very well to keep up. Great dig by Rocher off the block. That's a great rally so far, everyone. But it's Ukraine that comes out on top. Petrenchuk with a lovely swing from the left side. Cross court. Off the block, just threading that needle between the French defense. It's a nice pass from the French libero. This time it's Bitchenko with a big, big swing. The ball goes off the French block into the aerial. Lovely kill. Great bit of court awareness there from the Ukrainian captain. Karlamov back to serve now for Ukraine. It's another good swing for France, but they're able to dig it out of the net, not able to get it back over. That was a lovely block by Ukraine. Horyakin exactly where he needed to be. Karlamov to serve. Easily picked up by the French team. That's a great quick kill. Once again, Damien Roger with a big swing right into that Ukrainian block. He's really showing his stuff this match, Roger. He's got a great arm. Really nice bit of volleyball IQ. He's come along really nicely as a player the last few years. Ukraine with a last-minute dink over the net, just saving themselves. Ukraine able to dig up one of Roger's swings. And this time, it's another kill for Le Francois. Ready and waiting in the outside. That's a lovely back set off the outside of that Ukrainian block. Horyakin putting his hand up saying, yeah, that's my fault. Not in just the right position that he should have been. And that's a lovely kill for the host nation. Oh, it's a good effort, but the ball goes long. Horyakin back to serve for Ukraine. It's a nice roll shot from Roger, but not hard enough. Ukrainian defenders pick that up pretty easily, and this time it's a big swing, and it's a lovely dig over the net. Ukraine not ready for that. You don't always have to be perfect to get those balls, or get those points. Trousseau just in the right spot to pick that up. Ball lands right in the middle of a bunch of Ukrainian defenders. Everybody looking at each other saying, are you gonna get that? France able to tie this set up 4-4. Ukraine struggling to get that ball, getting a hit, not getting a hit off of that. But you know who did? Le Francois. That's a lovely kill off the Ukrainian block. Once again, he's got their number. Really smart swing. Cool, calm, and collected. It's exactly what this French squad need as they take the lead for the first time in set 3. Ukraine giving the ball to Bitchenko. They needed that kill and that side out. He gave them exactly what they wanted. It's a side out for Ukraine. Petrenchuk back to serve. And it's an ace for Petrenchuk. French receiver is just not quite in the right position. They need to move and get behind that ball. A serve from a team like Ukraine, you've got to put your body behind it, push that ball back forward, and that's a great block. by Le Francois. He's really having a great match, especially in this rotation. Lovely bit of strength. France tying it up once again. France getting a free ball. Chance for a big swing. Le Francois once again. Kill for France. They pull ahead. This time he outsmarts Bitchenko. Swinging right off of that high outside hand. Smart play. It's a quick shot to Bitchenko for a nice definitive kill and a side out for Ukraine as the captain takes to the service line. This is where his quality comes into play. He's ready and waiting. His setter knows exactly where he is. And the French block was not at all ready. He's a serious player, Bitchenko, but you can tell he's having a great time here in this environment, North Paris Arena. And it's a French kill again. Zhinov off the top of that Ukrainian block. A nice, easy roll shot. It doesn't always have to have power to get a point in this game. Horyakin just not in the right position, didn't move fast enough to get his hand on that ball. Zhinov back to serve. It's great coverage. No chase from Ukraine. France keep their lead, this time by 2 points. That's a great positioning there by Zhinov. He was exactly where he needed to be. Nice strong arms, penetrating over that net. That was a big swing, but it went straight to the floor. Petrenchuk connecting with his right side hitter. France able to return that, but it's a big swing from Kharlamov to end that rally. Once again, finding a spot just on the inside of that double block, right in front of that French defender. Mitro Minik back to serve. Oh, French setting up a quick shot of their own, but Ukrainian block ready and waiting in position. That's a good effort by Trousseau. He had to reach for that over his shoulder, but ball was tight and the block was big. And that's a side out for France. Once again, taking the lead in set 3. They're neck and neck with this Ukrainian squad. Showing a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and they're bringing out their big hitters. That's exactly what you need against a team like this. That's a substitution on the French side. Volnovic coming off the floor. Mamadou Ba taking his place at the service line. It's not an easy thing to come off the bench and do something like this, but no doubt that Ba is ready and up for the challenge. It's a lovely serve to the deep of the court. Ukraine struggles to pick it up, and it's an ace for Ba straight off the bench. He gets a point on the board. French pulling ahead 11-9. It's not an easy thing to do. You're a bit cold coming off the bench. You're not quite zoned into the game like you would be if you were playing, but he handled that with ease. Beautiful ace from Ba. This time, much better pass from Ukrainian side. And it's Kharlamov with a pretty strong hit off of the French block and out of bounds. Korenets taking to the service line now for Ukraine. They're trailing France by 1, and they're going to need to get a few points on the board, giving themselves a bit more cushion as we head into the middle of this set. Big pickup by Bitchenko. And a lovely swing for Petrenchuk. Just nicking the block on the French side. Vichenko having a nice time there, joking around with his teammates. It's nice to see. Everybody's happy. French team giving them a run for their money, but they're still relaxed. They're still in the game. It's a great effort from France, recovering from that. It's a roll shot, but it's into the aerial. It's an out of bounds. That's disappointing for Gieneuf. Just had a bit of a missed contact there. Going for that line shot, which is exactly what he should have done. Cornet still back at the service line. But it's an easy side out for France. They tie things back up once again. Gieneuf taking the service line for France. Taking his time, zeroing in. It's a lovely serve. But it's a huge swing and a return from Horyakin on Ukraine for a kill. Oh, but they call the ball out of bounds. No touch by the French blockers. France pulling ahead 13-12. Ukraine struggling to get that ball back over. That's a great block by France. It's another swing from Roger, but Ukraine are able to block it. France struggling to get that over, and eventually it's a double touch call on Trousseau. He really hustled to get that ball, but not a good enough contact, and it's a point for Ukraine. Lovely coverage there by France. Ukraine really struggling. That's a nice point for them. Crowd going absolutely wild here in the North Paris arena. France have been pretty steadily leading this set, even just by 1 point, but that's all you need. They're gonna have to clear by 2 points if they're gonna win the set though. Huge swing by Ukraine. Petrenchuk putting some power behind that, but it misses the French hands and sails out of bounds. That's another point for France, taking a 2-point lead. Morgan Trousseau at the service line. But it's an easy side out for Ukraine. They get back in with an easy striking distance of France. And Ruslan Horyakin back to the service line. Oh, and it's a quick ball over the net. Ukraine able to get that up and over, but it goes out of bounds. That's some good thinking by the French setter Gieneuf. Ukraine not ready for that, just throwing a bit of a handout, just desperate to get that ball. France securing that 2-point lead. Volnovic back on the court. Bach comes back off. And Damien Roger at the service line. Oh, that's a huge block for France! Roman Volnovic, exactly where he needed to be. That is beautiful, especially like a player like Vichenko. That must feel so good. Excellent blocking position. His hands are over the net, and physics did the rest. Oh, and it's an ace for Roger. France pulling ahead by 4 points. That's their biggest lead so far in this match, and you can see the body language. They are elated, and they should be. They've earned this. Steady and calm, doing exactly what they need to do. They struggle to get that block back, though, and it's a side out for Ukraine. That's a good reach by Dmytro Minik. It's Ukrainian substitution. Roman Prischepa coming back on the court in place of Yevgeny Korenets. That's another point for Ukraine. Maxime Petrenchuk still at the service line. Oh, France doing well to cover that, getting that ball back over to Ukraine. Bikchenko takes a huge swing and it's in, it's a kill. Really good quality volleyball on the Ukrainian sides. Lovely pass into their setter. He's able to put that ball wherever he wants it. And it's a timeout for France as they try to stop this Ukrainian advance and put just a little bit of a chink in their momentum. That French squad pumping each other up, getting that adrenaline pumping as they head back out onto the court. They've made a lot of really great progress this set, but they're going to have to stop the Ukrainian serve now, giving themselves a few more points lead. Ukrainian setter Maxime Petrenchuk back at the service line. Oh, it's a big swing. It's a good attempt by France, but that ball sails clear of any Ukrainian hands, and it's a point for Ukraine. They tie this back up 18-18. They've clawed their way back from a 4-point deficit now, and momentum is on their side. That's a lovely pass from Troussard. Another lovely set back to Bikchenko. He's able to just nick the top of that French block for an easy kill. Lovely bit of swing. When you see him wind up like that, you know something big is coming. Oh, that's a big swing from the back row. Francis Gienneuf goes in for a big swing, but because he's in the back row, he's not allowed to cross over that 2-meter line that you see there in the middle of the floor. If he touches the ball above the height of the net and he's in front of that line, it's an automatic point for Ukraine, which is exactly what the referees caught him out doing. France do another substitution, bringing Gienneuf back out onto the court, or back out onto the bench, excuse me. And Ukraine retain their serve with a 2-point lead. Oh, that's a lovely up by the libero, but it's just out of reach of his teammates. It's another point for Ukraine. France starting to lose their nerve a little bit, it seems. They're looking a bit frustrated, a bit worried, but they've gotten themselves this far. They just need to find that mentality once again and just keep up this play. France calls a timeout as Ukraine leads 21-18. Ukrainian coach Miklik just giving a few final words of advice to his team as they take the floor once again. They'll be looking to close out this set and the match. They're only 4 points away. But will France be able to bring them an answer out of their timeout? They need to get back on the scoreboard sooner rather than later. It's a nice set, but unfortunately, Volnovic not able to get a good contact, and that ball goes right into the Ukrainian block. That's a great close by Ukraine. Big block for Roman Prishchepa. Big swing, Ukraine able to pick that back up. That's a huge swing from Laurent Khrushcheva. He puts his hand up, he hit the libero, clocked him right in the face. That's gotta hurt. Puts his hands up, says, really sorry, not intentional. But the libero says, I'm okay, he gives us the thumbs up. And play goes on, Petrenchuk back at the service line still. There's another French substitution. This time it's Thomas Laurence coming on to court in place of Thibaut Lefrançois. This time Ukraine ready for that first ball over. It's a big swing and a kill for Dimitro Menik. Lovely bit of volleyball from Ukraine to take them to match point as they look to get themselves a 7th place finish here in Paris 2024. But will France stop them? It's a nice placement there by Lacroix. And it's a big swing once again from Ukraine to finish off that match. They ended like they started, with going off swinging in their offense. They played some really good defense on both sides of the net today. It's a great recovery and a big swing from Bikchenko. That's almost poetic for their end here in Paris 2024. So Ukraine defeats France 3-0, 25-16, 25-11, 25-18 for a 7th place finish here in North Paris Arena. Both teams saying one final goodbye. Thank you very much. Well played. It's been a really nice environment here in North Paris Arena. The fans have been hopping. They've brought all the energy. They knew their job. But Ukraine overcomes host France 3-0, 25-16, 25-11, 25-18 for a very easy victory here tonight against France. But let's not forget, it's not always about the wins in the Paralympic Games. This sport has had an amazing foundation through this team. They've done their country very proud and done some amazing things against some very strong teams here in the competition. France's sitting volleyball program was non-existent 8 years ago. And here they are doing their country proud at the Paralympic Games. Lots of love and smiles. That's great to see. These athletes are fierce opponents on court, but when it comes down to it, they're all friends. The match statistics speak for themselves. Huge amount of blocks from the Ukrainian side, 14 blocks. They're a great big defensive team. They also managed to out-hit France, but France able to get a lot of digs, 58 digs. They played some amazing defense. They kept their faults to a minimum. They were right neck and neck there with Ukraine in the end, and the scoreboard shows it. Once again, the French fans showing both teams a bit of love. Both teams have had a really long journey here. Lots of challenges for the Ukrainian team to get together, train, and get here to Paris 2024. But France have been unbeatable hosts here in this game. And that's across all sports, all venues. Athletes so grateful to their home fans as well as the fans here in Paris. Both teams end their Paris 2024 journeys here today. Ukraine, no doubt, very happy to leave with a victory. That's a nice feeling to end their tournament with. French fans equally as happy as they should be. They put on a cracking performance today in the North Paris Arena, making their fans proud, putting up a good fight for Ukraine. It was a wonderful match to see, and we won't be seeing the last of this team. And it's Ukraine with a win over host nation France, winning this 7th place classification match 3-0. Rather definitively 25-16, 25-11, 25-18. It's a great battle between two good teams. Lots of good energy on court and a great showing by both France and Ukraine to close out their journey here at Paris 2024. No doubt both teams will be looking ahead to LA 2028 in just a few years' time. It seems a while away, but it will come up quickly.
Fêtez ça ensemble, mesdames et messieurs, les premiers Jeux paralympiques de l'équipe de France avec vous. Ensemble. Allez, on vous le rappelle, le prochain match de cette deuxième session, le deuxième match de cette première session, aura lieu dans trois petits quarts d'heure environ entre l'équipe de France féminine et l'équipe du Rwanda. Vous pouvez bien sûr aller voir un petit coup, vous pouvez faire quand vous le sentez, mais n'hésitez pas à revenir avec nous d'ici un petit quart d'heure pour ce match de l'équipe de France féminine.
Offshore, your ticket is also valid for the second match of this session. Just take a few minutes to have some food and beverages. You can go to the superstore outside the venue, and we'll be back here in a few minutes for the pre-game show of this second game between France and Rwanda.
Et la précision qu'on vient de nous donner dans l'oreillette, mesdames et messieurs, c'est qu'il fallait même revenir d'ici 10 minutes, parce que le show des French Kings aura lieu dans 10 minutes maintenant, donc à 13h25. Si vous avez besoin d'aller aux toilettes, vous allez aux toilettes. Si vous avez besoin de boire un coup, vous allez boire un coup. Et surtout, vous revenez d'ici 10 minutes pour le show des French Wings. À tout de suite.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci d'accueillir les officiels techniques et les volontaires de ce deuxième match. North Paris Arena, please welcome the technical officials and volunteers for this game between Rwanda and France.
Allez, mesdames et messieurs, on va bien sûr vous expliquer un petit peu plus précisément cette rencontre. C'est un match de classement pour décider quelle équipe terminera 7e et 8e des Jeux Paralympiques, entre l'équipe de France et l'équipe du Rwanda. Pour faire rapidement le topo, le Rwanda a été battu pour le Brésil 3-7-0 par l'Espagne, 3-7-1 par le Canada, 3-7-0. Tandis que l'équipe de France a été battue par l'Italie, par l'Italie et également par l'Italie sur le score de 3-7-0. À chaque fois, mais on va avoir notre soutien. On pourra encore un énorme merci à l'ensemble des écoles, des classes et des vacanciers également qui sont avec nous à l'occasion de ces deux rencontres ce matin avec les équipes de France. On va avoir besoin de vous une nouvelle fois pour pousser ces demoiselles de l'équipe de France.
So good to see so many cool school kids in this North Paris arena. This game coming in a few minutes, the first serve in about 23 minutes in this arena. It's a game for place 7 and 8 in the women's tournament. It's facing Rwanda and France. All of these two teams finish fourth in the pool stage. They will try to rank as high as possible, which means the 7th ranking, and earn as many world points as possible. Rwanda eventually took a set to Slovenia. France is looking to have their very first set here, so probably at home it will be a big game for them to try to reach this goal. North Paris Arena, please welcome the court, Team Rwanda. Led by captain number 15, Livia Mukokwapawe. Libero number 14, Osiana Munisa. Number 1, Agnes Niranshimiyimana. Number 2, Faustina Uwimpuwe. Number 3, Claudine Muenwaye. Number 4, Sandrine Niabaoshimana. Number 5, Alice Musa Di Maria. Number 8, Maria Musio. Number 11, Solange Niraneta. Number 13, Clementine Umutoni. And number 16, Chantal Butuimana.
Et à présent, mesdames et messieurs, il va falloir une nouvelle fois se mettre debout tous et tous pour accueillir votre équipe, pour accueillir l'équipe de France. La capitaine à la numéro 9, merci d'applaudir Jenna Admojo-Prince. Elle est bien sûr accompagnée de ses coéquipières à numéro 4, Estelle Marsaga. Numéro 6, Julie Lillier. Numéro 7, Séverine Bayo. Numéro 8, Anaïs Riga. Numéro 10, Linda Petchel. Numéro 12, Aurélie Galizia. Numéro 14, Olivia Lannes. Et la numéro 15, Karen Femalimeji. Et bien sûr, merci d'applaudir le coach de cette équipe de France, Johan Escala. Et vous le voyez, les lumières s'allument, mesdames et messieurs, ce qui veut dire que le match va démarrer d'ici quelques instants, une petite vingtaine de minutes. Vous pouvez encore applaudir les deux équipes, l'équipe du Rwanda et l'équipe de France.
You just hear this referee's whistle, which means the official warm-up is now underway on court. The first serve in about 18 minutes. The time for you, North Paris Arena, to share some energy with the players. We'll just start the warm-up in a few seconds. Rwanda in their yellow jersey, France playing in blue.
North Paris Arena is ready for day 7 of sitting volleyball in the women's competition here at Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. The women's playoffs action awaits us as African champions Rwanda and hosts France have it out to decide the 7th and 8th place finishings and how each team will conclude their Paris 2024 journeys. Rwanda are going to be a real challenge for this less experienced French team, but with the crowds behind them, this could be a great match. Both teams just finishing their warm-ups, getting zeroed in, getting used to this atmosphere. The North Paris Arena is pumping with fans. And it's going to take a little bit of getting used to for players on both sides of the net. These athletes don't often get crowds this size, and that kind of energy can be a little bit unsettling if you're not really sure how to handle it. So this will be a great opportunity for them to just take a breath, settle in, and remember their game plan and what they're here for. Rwanda looking very focused as their team lines up there on the service line, warming up those shoulders, getting their heads in the game. They're a very experienced team. This is their 3rd Paralympic game appearance. And both France and Rwanda are coming into this match off of 3 losses to some really strong teams like the USA, Canada, China, and Brazil, all who advanced to the semifinals, and they'll both be looking to get their first win here in Paris. Likewise, the French team doing the same as Rwanda, warming up those shoulders, having a bit of a talk with themselves about what it is that they're here to do and accomplish today. They've had a bit of a rough go so far in the competition, but still quite talented, still handy with a volleyball. Sitting volleyball is a brand new program here in France. The program started in 2017 with 0 teams. And this national women's team are going to be leaving quite a legacy behind them here in the host nation. Teams making their final preparations. Rwanda has a great lineup, very experienced players. Look out for their captain, Liliane. She's a big scorer for them, as is Sandrine and Solange. They'll be making some big plays today. They've got a big block, and they're headed up by head coach Massad El Ayouti, originally from Egypt. He's a very experienced coach and previously spent many years coaching the men's Egyptian national team. Now, Rwanda have had a rough start so far. They're coming off of 3 losses, but they were able to take a set off of Slovenia, putting on a really good showing here in the North Paris Arena. And home team France, they've got a nice lineup here. Their players are all making their Paralympic debut here in Paris. This is a foundational team for France. So far, their captain, Jenna Agbojan-Prince, has been their biggest scorer, so look out for her as we begin play. Looks like France are really enjoying the atmosphere here. The crowd know what their job is, and they have nailed it to a T so far in the competition. And France is coached by Johan Escala. He took over the reins of the program in 2023 and was part of the coaching team where they defeated Turkey at the European Championships. And similar to Rwanda, France coming in off some tough losses to some really strong teams. They've had no wins so far, and both teams are be looking to end their Paralympic journey with a victory here tonight. You can hear the fans. The atmosphere here is positively electric. There's a lot of noise, a lot of kids, all eager, no doubt, to cheer on their home teams. We're nearly ready to get this classification match underway, but before we get going, these teams will have a chance to hear their national anthems one more time.
North Paris Arena, please rise if you are able for the anthem of Rwanda.
et messieurs, merci à toutes et à tous. C'est place maintenant à l'hymne national de la France, mesdames et messieurs, la Marseillaise.
And now, the anthem of France.
That's a special moment there for both teams to hear their national anthems here for the one last time in the North Paris Arena, but extra special for the Marseillaise to be played and sung with so much enthusiasm here today. We're here for the 7th and 8th classification match of the women's sitting volleyball competition. Host Team France taking on the African champions Rwanda, both hoping to end their Paralympic journeys with a win here today. Both teams exchanging a few quick messages of good luck, high fives all around, exchanging pins before they go back to their respective teams and benches to make those last final preparations for their last match in Paris 2024. DJ and the arena presenters doing a great job keeping the energy up here in the arena. As we become introduced to our officials for this match, our first referee is Amina El Sergani of Egypt, and she'll be supported by Canadian second referee on the other side of the net, Marie-Claude Richet. They're both experienced officials, and they'll be here making sure that players are following all the rules and that all the right steps are taken in this 7th place classification match. And now to meet our starting lineups. Rwanda hitting it off with number 3, Claudine. Number 4, Sandrine. She's one of their big scorers. Number 8, Marie-Adeline. Another big hitter for Rwanda is 11, Solange. And let's not forget Clementine, number 13. And of course, their libero, Posiana. She'll be flying across that court, and they'll be led by Captain Liliane in jersey 15. And now for the home team starting lineup. Making some noise to kick their lineup off. Number 4, Marsa Gallon. Followed by number 7, Bayo. Number 8 is Anaïs Rigal. She's a big player for them. And number 9, their captain, Jenna Agbojan France. And number 15, Karen Faimali Meje. And this lineup will be supported in the backcourt by libero Julie Lignier. Coach Johannes Scala taking his bow before we get this match underway. Players are coming in together. One last message of support, reminders of what they're here to do. Reviewing their game plan point by point before we get this match underway. It's all to play for today at North Paris Arena. This is both teams' final chance at a win. And it's Rwanda in yellow serving, France in blue receiving. for this women's 7-8 classification match at Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. We're off to a great start with a really strong kill from Rwanda's Marie-Adeline. Their best finish so far at a Paralympic Games is 7th place, so they'll be looking to match that here today. But don't count them out. They've got a lot of experience, and it shows there. As Solange gets herself her first ace of the competition, or the first ace of the day, sorry. And that's an ace. She's racking them up so far. Solange very happy with that. France are just gonna have to brush off these jitters. They need to get a nice touch on that ball, give their setters a nice pass so that they can start getting some swings in. Rwanda will no doubt be coming out aggressively, both blocking and hitting. France are gonna have to find an answer for that if they want to keep up in this match. And that's a good effort by the home team, but they're called for a carry. When you touch that ball, especially on the second and third contact, that has to be super clean, one action. If it's not, the referees are going to call it, and it's a point for your opponent. Oh, that France getting in their first swing. But Marsa Galland just going long, so it's another point for Rwanda as they pull ahead 5-0. And France struggling once again to get that ball up. Rwanda all smiles as they get a nice healthy lead in this 7th place classification match. They're very focused, they're ready to show their stuff. They were hoping to improve upon that 7th place finish from Tokyo 2020, and this time it's a point for France. They're finally on the scoreboard. That's a lovely back set from setter Regal. Captain Agbo Prince doing really well to put that ball down on the floor. That's a lovely pass by Hosiana, giving her team a chance to get a nice swing, and it's great coverage as well. Clementine defending at the net. Rwanda able to get a side out. That's really good movement on the Rwandan side. The French really struggling to get to that ball. One of the key differences in the sitting game as compared to the standing version of volleyball is you'll see that players on the receiving team during serve are able to block and attack the serve. Rwanda really struggling. France doing well to get that ball back over. That's a nice swing from Agbo Prince, but Rwanda get it up, they just push it out of bounds. That's an unlucky break. Some lovely high passes. Rwanda able to get a good swing on that. France's Famale Meje coming in with a big swing of her own from the back row, but it just goes long. It seems both of these teams are just a little bit unsettled still. They're not really finding a good rhythm. And it's no surprise considering the noise and the energy coming from this arena. These players are not used to being in crowds this large. And while the crowd is doing a great job of cheering everyone on, it can make it a little bit difficult to hear your teammates and to stay focused. That's another point for Rwanda. France struggling to return the ball right now. Regal giving a nice back set, but it's too tight to the net. And Agbo Prince not able to get to it. That's a nice high pass. That's exactly what France needed, and it's a kill for the French captain. She finally gets that connection that she's looking for. French team showing us what they're capable of. Marie-Adeline in Rwanda really doing her best to pick that ball up off the block, but it's just out of her reach. Alice is being substituted in for her now for Rwanda as France take the service line. Some nice coverage, good defense, and the French team able to block that over. That's a great effort by Regal. Medjaheri flying out of that deep corner to get her hand on that. Regal doing very well to joust at the net with Rwanda. That's a side out for France as they take the scoreboard 4 points to 9, and it's an ace! Agbajan able to get a great swing. Lovely point for France. And it's an easy point, easy side out for Rwanda. Alice taking the service line now. She's sitting quite far back from that service line. There will be a few reasons for that, but the advantage that gives France is it takes her a while to get back on court, and they take advantage for a big kill from Faimali Meje. The outside hitter's already got some great swings behind her. Solange really struggling to get her hands behind that, and it's a great kill for France. Great defense on both sides. France gets another swing. But it doesn't catch the block. No doubt that's what Faimali Meje was aiming for, but it's another point for Rwanda, and Captain Liliane takes to the service line. French team are playing some very good defense. They just need to keep that up, get some more swings in, and they'll be golden in this match. That's a good up. Good effort by the Rwandans. Excellent net play. Lots of great movement. Where's this rally going? Oh, there's a great dig by France. More great effort, and oh, what a shame. What a shame. Both teams coming out fighting. Great effort by Rwanda. Excellent net defense. They're right there and ready. French team just struggling to get that last ball up, but great play all around. French fans helping their team out. Oh, it's another good effort. Rwanda doing some really good net play here. Number 4, Sandrine, doing really well to move along that net, making sure her hands are where they need to be. And France call a timeout.
Ce qui est bien, c'est que tu as cherché à frapper. Tu peux aussi poser une feinte alternée. D'accord? Plutôt devant la poste 4, là, chez cette bouteille bien. Ok, c'est un bon début. Mais ça va être comme ça tout le long. Remettez de la haute.
French coach Johannes Scala giving his team some advice, reminders of what they need to do to keep putting points on the board. Rwanda are still back at the service line with Alice at the helm. Well, that's a nice up by Hosiana. Sandrine comes with a kill into the backcourt, and it's a lovely swing by Solange. That's some great net defense. France struggling to get that one up. They've made a substitution now. Olivia Lane coming in for Linda Medjaheri. No doubt just changing things up a little bit, giving Rwanda something different to work with, seeing if they can disrupt this momentum they've built up. It's an easy up for Rwanda. That ball is tight. Sandrine doing well to get that over, and she answers with a kill. Can they get it back? Yes, they can. Oh, it goes out of bounds. That's a really good effort. Rwanda just struggling to control that, but you've got to take advantage of those free balls when they come over. Great sight by the French players. They saw that going out early and just let it fall. Marcel Galland now at the service line for France, and it's an easy side out for Rwanda as that sails a little bit long. Rwanda have given themselves a nice healthy lead here as they lead this set 15-7. Claudine is serving. That's a lovely serve to the libero. She's not able to handle it quite as well. Oh, but it's a really definitive swing and a kill from Sandrine to end that rally. Lots of backing and forthing, but she decided she'd had enough. Goes up with a big swing between the two blockers on the French side. France really struggling. They're getting some passes up high. There's plenty of time for their setters or somebody to get in and get that second ball. They're gonna need that. That's a great serve right in that seam between Ligné and the French captain. Claudine's still at the service line. She's putting a lot of speed, bit of spin on this ball, but that's a great kill from France, easily handled by Famali. Lovely swing off the Rwandan hands. They hadn't penetrated yet, and she saw that, took full advantage for a quick, easy kill for France. She's had a great start to this match so far. They just need to keep feeding that hot hitter. Oh, and that's a great follow by Hosiana, the Rwandan libero. She saw that ball going out. She followed it just in case. And that's a great side out for Rwanda. Oh, and it's a kill for Rwanda Solange. She's a great server. And France call their second timeout of this set.
C'est le moment, chers supporters, de sortir tous vos drapeaux. Les drapeaux français, les drapeaux du Rwanda, tous les drapeaux sont les bienvenus à l'Arena Paris Nord. C'est le flag camp. Take your flag clap.
Et surtout, les attaquants d'Ozel, eux qui la suspendent pour Paradis, pour rester collés dans la filet. Et le coup pas utiliser la frappe.
Fans still bringing some great energy as the teams go back out onto the floor. Oh, and it's another kill for Solange. She's racking those up so far this match. French really not able to get their hands behind that ball, and they're gonna have to. She's putting the heat on. And if they want that ball to go forward to their setter, they're gonna have to find a way to put some strength behind it. And there's another ace for Solange. This time it goes off of the French blocker's fingertips. That changes the trajectory of the ball. The libero was there, but when it touched the blocker's hands, it just put it out of her reach. Some great defense now from Rwanda. They're starting to clock up a few great points of their own. It's a great swing by Sandrine. Setter Solange knows exactly what she's doing. Lovely back set. Ah, that's a nicely timed side out for France. Marcel Galland back to the service line for France, and it's a side out for Rwanda. The French team are gonna have to keep those errors to a minimum. Rwanda now only within 2 points of taking this set. Sets are played to 25 points. You have to clear by 2 points, and the match is won when a team wins 3 out of 5 sets. And that's another ace for Rwanda, this time for Sandrine. And that brings them to set point in the first set of this 7-8 classification match. Oh, it's great defense. French block was there, but that's great coverage by Rwanda. And they take that set, 9 points to France, 25 points to Rwanda.
Ils sont de retour avec nous dans cette arena Paris-Nord. Merci d'applaudir les French Wings.
Rwandan team really coming out strong so far. Taking that set 25-9, that's pretty definitive. They're here, they mean business, and they want to show the world why they're the African champions. They're the first African team to ever compete at the Paralympic Games in sitting volleyball and remain the only ones. They had a few great attacks, lots and lots of aces. That really helps them move that set along quickly. French team are going to have to dig deep here and find a way to get those passes up if they're going to be able to activate their offense for a chance at winning this set. These French fans are still buzzing here in the North Paris Arena. It's great to see so many young people here, most of whom probably never seen sitting volleyball before. And that's one of the great legacies of a city like Paris getting to host the Paralympic Games. The people who live here getting to see sports that they've probably never seen or even likely heard of. And it gives great exposure to these athletes, it gives great exposure to this game, and just keeps growing it bigger and bigger. And that can only be a good thing. Got players back on the floor now, ready to get started for set number 2. We've got liberos in the back. And it's France serving Rwanda to start off set 2 of this 7th place classification match. And it's a point for Rwanda. That's good blocking there by them. An easy side out as Solange takes the service line. Oh, and that's a great leave by the French receivers. Famali Meje tracking that ball all the way to that line, but it's well clear as France get a side out and get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, and that's an ace for France. Séverine Bayo putting France in the lead. It's a great ace from France. Rwanda getting a much better pass this time. Getting a swing. France able to return it though. And it's Clementine this time for a swing and a kill. The Rwandan team really starting to find that rhythm, the pass, the set, get it to the hitter. They've got some really good blockers, really good offensive players. They need to get them in the game. And that's an ace for Rwanda. Sandrine's racking them up now. French players just not able to get to the ball, get their contacts strong enough to get that ball up to their setter. They're gonna have to find a way. It's a great recovery. They've got the ball back. Great dig. And this time, Captain Liliane gives it a good swing. France able to return it for a kill of their own. That's a big point for them. French captain really smart there. She throws that ball over flat and fast. Rwanda's Marie-Adeline not able to get behind it. And it's an ace for France, taking them into the lead again. Agba-Jean-Prince serving up a storm. God, it's a side out, easy point for Rwanda. Ties things up for them. They're going to want to be looking to pull away now from France. Rwanda making a substitution. It's Alice back on the court in place of Marie-Adeline. Oh, and it's a side out for the host nation. Makes things nice and easy for them. As Regal takes to the service line. That's a big swing from Rwanda. France able to keep the ball alive. And that's a very smart push by Captain Liliane. She's very, very experienced. She's gonna pick apart your defense. She sees that spot just behind the French libero, and she goes for it. You don't always have to slam the ball to get a point. Sometimes it's just a little bit of volleyball IQ. Some good jousting there at the net, but in the end it was French player called for a carry. It'll be that one right there where she held the ball just for a millisecond against the net. Side out for Rwanda. That's a good effort by Solange to get that ball back over. France putting the ball over, but it's easily picked up. Oh, and Rwanda coming back. Liliane, another kill for her. Rwanda starting to look much stronger here in set two. Just taking a few minutes to settle in, no doubt. Alice for a great serve. France struggling to return it, but they managed to get it over in two. Great blocking by Rwanda, really strong. And the point goes to them. I think that was a net call called on France. It's these kinds of errors, they're gonna make a big difference. France are still in this set, but they've got to play a clean game. You can't be giving any points away to this team. Oh, that's a good block, but even better counter block by Liliane. Really smart coverage, really strong hands. Oh, but the point goes to France. Not sure what happened there, but Olivia Land takes to the service line. That's a great swing from Rwanda, but French team able to do something with it. They give it to their captain. She wallops it, but Rwanda send it back over. Oh, and it's once again another kill from Liliane. The Rwandan setter, Claudine, had to work extra hard to pull that ball away from the net and give Liliane a chance at a good swing. She once again finds that pulling the French defense for a kill. And it's another point for Rwanda. They struggled to recover after that block. I think the French team were hoping for a carry call against Sandrine as the ball paused there against the net, but no luck. France call a timeout. From the look on some of these fans' faces just how loud it is in here in the North Paris Arena. French fans bringing the noise, bringing the energy. Just what their team needed after that timeout. They're playing some great defense now, managing to keep the Rwandan team on their toes. That's a great up. What a dig by Regal. But the ball lands on the floor. It's a point for Rwanda. Oh, it's an easy point for Rwanda. The French team called out of their rotation. Players have to stay in a very specific order on the floor and when the ball is served. If they move even a millisecond too fast, that's an automatic point to the other team. Rwandan captain Liliane just taking her time, zeroing in on where she wants to put that ball, and it's another point for Rwanda as France are calling for a carry. They're really struggling. They need to get a little bit more height on that first pass so that their setter has a chance of moving. That's a good fight, but it's once again the Rwandan blockers coming out on top. France called for a double touch. It's a good effort. Another bit of great jousting and coverage was amazing there by France, giving them some space. Set goes over the net and out, so that's another Rwandan point. And the French team call another timeout. That's their second of this set.
Allez, mesdames et messieurs, 15-6 donc en faveur du Rwanda, comme vient de le dire si bien Julien. Ça va toujours, l'Arena Paris-Nord ou pas? Alors, on a l'impression que vous êtes partis déjà. Ça va toujours, l'Arena Paris-Nord?
Rwandan team looking very confident, very relaxed, as they should. They've played a great match so far, showing everyone why they're the African champions. And just like France are starting a legacy today, this Rwandan team was in the same position 8 years ago when they were the first team from Africa to ever qualify for the Paralympic Games, and that set off more development on the continent. There's more teams playing than ever before, and this Rwandan team has been a key part of that sport development on the continent. They rack up one more point for their team. Captain Liliane still sitting comfortably there at the service line. French team looking frustrated. Nerves are starting to get the better of them. And that's another ace for Liliane. She's doing very well to hold her composure. It's not easy, even when the ball's not coming back, to keep going to that service line over and over. It takes a lot of resolve, a lot of grit, and a lot of mental strength. France making a substitution, trying to change things up, give the Rwandan team a new face to deal with, and this time it's Aurélie Garcia. And it's an ace. Rwanda's Liliane threading that needle, going for the line and just catching it. That's a lovely spot. Family Maget clearly thought that was out. Oh, that's a great cover by Rwanda. They send it back over to France and they struggle to get it back once again. Rwanda playing very well. They're doing a good job of staying ready. There's a lot of crazy stuff coming back over the net and they're ready to react. Julie Ligné really struggling to get two hands on that ball. That doesn't allow her to get much control. Movement in this game is so important, and it is really difficult. It takes players a long time to get used to that rhythm because not only do you have to move with your hands, you've also got to play the ball. And this game moves so fast. You need some really quick reaction times, and Rwandan captain Liliane still at the service line, just racking up points as Rwanda take this set to an even bigger lead. They're now at 21 points to 6.
Et tout à l'heure, le bleu-blanc-rouge, ça a marché. Essayez le bleu-blanc-rouge pour notre équipe de France.
Oh, and it's another ace for Liliane. She's doing a good job. She's keeping the speed and the power on this ball, but it always stays on target. French libero really struggling to get a good pass up to her setter. Olivia Lang coming back on, giving Ligné a bit of a break. Well, it's a good effort by France, trying to put some speed on that ball, but just don't execute. Liliane still back at the service line. Her arm's gonna start getting tired. There, France finally able to get that ball back over. Rwanda handle it easily. And that's a point for France, a side out, right in the nick of time. Rwanda just 2 points off of the set. Some great blocking, good court awareness there by Medjaheri. Oh, and this time it's an ace for France. Medjaheri back at the service line, putting that speed on, just what France needed, right in between those receivers. Hosiana struggling to get a good contact, and Rwanda cannot get the ball back over. Go for another big swing here. Oh, and this time it's just a bit too much. And that's a side out for Rwanda. That takes them to set point for set 2. Oh, and it's an ace for Claudine to close out that set. Really comfortable victory here for Rwanda as they take the second set 25-8. That serve going right in between those two French receivers. Rwanda's sitting very comfortably here in the classification match for 7th place. They take the first set 25-9, second set 25-8. There's just one more set they need to claim this match. Lots of aces from Rwanda, most of those from Captain Liliane. That's enough to give them a really comfortable lead about halfway through that set, and they just continued to pull away from France. That's a great showing by the African champions. This team from Rwanda looking unstoppable so far in this classification match. France are going to have to find a way to stop their serves and get their own offense running. They've just been putting free ball after free ball back over to Rwanda. They're able to handle that really easily, getting lots of good swings in, and of course, even more importantly, keeping that ball behind the service line. That's a good pass to start things off. France already looking more settled than before. Captain Agbejean-Prince hitting that ball out of bounds, but we're already looking better at the start of set 2. Solange serving once again for Rwanda. Oh, it's a big swing coming from Olivia Lane, but not over the net. It's an easy point for Rwanda. Sandrine, excuse me, staying back behind the service line. France pushing that ball nice and deep, making Rwanda work for it. It's a great up by Hosiana, and her setter's nowhere to be found. The Rwandan team all looking at each other. French players getting each other hyped up, taking advantage of that point. Rwanda just looking at each other like, what the heck just happened? French captain taking the service line. Rwanda gonna have to find a way to regroup. There you go. That's a great kill by France. Libero Hosiana able to get her hand on that, but not up to her setter. Regal, that's a great net defense there. Oh, and it's an ace for Agbejean-Prince. Excellent showing. That's a great spot, just to the inside of that Rwandan receiver. She's not able to get her body behind it, and that ball goes flying. Well, that's a good leave by Hosiana. It's a nice side out for Rwanda. They tie this third set up 3-all. Oh, and that's another point for Rwanda. French team struggling to get that ball over. That was some good coverage there at the block, but they've got to be able to finish that. Send that ball back to Rwanda. It's good net play. Rwanda's Clementine ready and waiting. For an offensive player, an overpass is almost like a gift. Just one big swing and that ball's away. Hey, France finally trying to get the ball back over. It's a lovely deep shot. Hosiana thinking it's out, so she lets it go, but it lands right on the line. That's a great effort by France. Good hustle. Oh, it's another point for France. They tie things up 5-5. Rwanda looking really unsettled. A little bit out of sorts, don't really seem like they know where each other are. It's a good opportunity for France to pull ahead here if they can. Hosiana this time gets a point of her own. She just puts a nice easy ball over, but there's no French player to be found in the middle of the court. French setter struggling to get her hands on that pass. It was nice and high, but just too wide. She doesn't get a good contact, so she gets called for a double touch. That ball goes straight back to Rwanda. And that's another ace, this time for Clementine. She's a good, solid player for Rwanda. I think if France give her the opportunity, she could sit back there all day. Oh, and it's just long. She's going for that deep line. The French players all pulled up for their reception. Just misses it. But the French team get a side out as Olivia Lane takes to the service line. It's a good effort by Rwanda. That was a nice deep ball from France. French players calling for a touch on that block. The referee says no way. Oh, never mind. That is a point for France. It looks like this time it was a Rwandan net touch, which is why Liliane went up to speak to the referee. And it's an ace for France. That's a great serve by Lane. It's a really difficult angle for the Rwandan players to get their hands around. France tying things up 8-all. Rwanda getting a good swing. Setter Alice doing some great movement, but it's another French point. They pull ahead in set 3. It's a great push. Claudine going for that swing, but she is denied by the French middle blocker, Séverine Bayot. What a great point. And that's another point for France, giving themselves a 2-point lead now. All made possible by Lane. Great serving. Claudine just a little bit too far behind the ball. She goes to rip on it, and it goes straight into the net. Rwanda finally getting a side out. Alice quickly making her way back to that service line. Oh, good blocking there by Claudine. French team struggling to get any height on the ball, getting anything to a hitter. That Rwandan block is ready and waiting. Oh, and it's an ace now. Rwanda's Alice, all smiles. She's a good, strong server. Her serves are flat. That makes it a little bit more difficult to get your body behind them and push that ball forward. It's so easy for that ball to ricochet off hands or platform. Oh, and it's a kill now. France's Marsa Galland with a big swing through the middle off the Rwandan block. Just off the hands of Claudine, landing right in front of Alice. Tying things back up. This is a nail biter, set 3. Oh, but it's an easy side out for Rwanda as that ball goes wide. Captain Liliane going back to the service line. She was able to get Rwanda a really nice string of points the last time in the previous set, so we'll see what she can do here. And that's an ace for Liliane as France struggle to get a good touch. They get called on a carry. And it's another ace for Liliane. In a situation like this, the servers just need to take a breath, keep their cool. They just need the ball to go over and in. And if she can do that, that's going to give her and Rwanda a nice, healthy margin to close out this set and the match. But there's still plenty of time for France to respond. They're going to have to get the ball up, though. They're losing all that momentum that they built up the last few points, and Johannes Scala calling a timeout.
partir du moment où une fille lève le ballon, on doit avoir une transition. Arrêtez qu'il se passe une intervention divine. Ça ne dépend que de vous.
Lots of noise still coming from the fans here at North Paris Arena. They are relentless. They're having a great time. French team just trying to find a bit of motivation, bring that energy back to the court. They had it built up, but Rwanda just keep advancing here. This time it's a big swing from Sandrine on the outside. France bringing Famali Meje back in. Medjahari takes to the bench. They're just trying to change some things up. Maybe trying to find some of that team chemistry that they had a few points before. Hosiana with a lovely pickup in the back row, and that's great defense, or great offense there by Claudine. That ball was really tight on the net. She knows she can't swing, but she manages to push it through the French block and down onto the floor for a kill. Oh, that's a cracking serve, but France able to return it. And it's a Rwandan point as the referee clocks 4 touches on that rally. You only have 3 here in volleyball, same as the standing game. The block doesn't count as one of those 3 touches, but it has to be a true block. It can't just be a touch from the blocker. More substitutions for the French side, still trying to find that right combination of players, and it's an ace for captain Liliane. Adding to her collection. She's had a nice run. This time it's Rwanda making a substitution. Number 2, Faustina, coming onto the floor in place of Claudine. And it's another ace for Liliane. She's getting high fives from her teammates as they march on toward the 25 points. France really making a good effort to pick up that ball, but it's not enough. That's a lovely block by Rwanda covering that setter. And this time the referee calls a let. If the ball gets stuck between 2 blockers for a certain amount of time, the referee will end the play, no points awarded, and it goes back to the same server. France able to get the ball up, but once again, it's another big Rwandan block. This time it's Sandrine. Their blocking's been really disciplined so far. They've been really good at covering some of those first and second balls over from France. It's made a big difference for them, as had these serves by Liliane. There's another big block. France just really struggling to get quality touches here. Johannes Gala calls his second timeout.
J'aimerais vous voir faire de belles choses pour ces belles personnes. C'est vous qui allez décider comment vous allez sortir.
And we're back on the court. We're set 3 in this 7-8 classification match in the women's competition at Paris 2024. This has been a rough set for host nation France. Rwanda have built themselves up another hefty lead. Off the back of a huge string of serves from their captain Liliane. She's been steely cool. It was a substitution for Rwanda. Bringing Solange back on and Chantal off the court. Rwanda are only 3 points away from closing out this set and finishing off this match to collect their 7th place finish. It's not over till it's over, but France have a long road ahead of them. They're gonna have to dig deep and play some really good volleyball, but Rwanda have other plans. Solange connects with Faustina for a lovely double block at the net. Chantal coming back on. Oh, and it's another ace for Liliane, the Rwandan captain. Really doing well back there on the service line. Another Rwandan substitution. Marie coming on for Alice as Rwanda sit at match point. Oh, and they've done it. Rwanda secured 7th place. That's matching their finish in Tokyo 2020. That was the highest finish they've ever had at a Paralympic Games, and you can see they are thrilled. This team has come a long way since they were founded just a few cycles ago. They're really bringing the joy. No doubt they've really enjoyed themselves here in the North Paris Arena. These fans are not only helping out their own team, but they're helping out the others as well. As Rwanda close out this match 25-9, 25-8, 25-11. Both teams exchanging congratulations, well done. It's lovely to see the smiles. They might be fierce opponents when the game is on, but it's good to see everybody giving some respect and exchanging pleasantries. Rwanda, a very definitive victory here over France for 7th place at the Paralympic Games, 25-9, 25-8, 25-11. Now this French team, they're a brand new program here in the host nation. They put on a pretty good show. They struggled at times, but this is a very experienced Rwandan team, and experience counts for a lot in sitting volleyball. It helps your reaction time, and you just know where you can put the ball. Both teams, great showing here in the North Paris Arena. Rwanda are delighted with their victory here tonight. It's a nice way to end their journey here in Paris. Bringing lots of energy of their own here to the floor. The African champions, no doubt, already thinking about their next step of their journey to LA 2028. It's not very far away. Statistics tell a lot of this story. Rwanda won this match from the service line, 23 aces against France. Plenty of kills, of course, but that is how they were able to come out here and earn that 7th place finish in Paris 2024. French players thanking their fans. It's been a great experience for them as well. They're leaving quite a legacy here in France and building a strong foundation for sitting volleyball to continue on here in the country after the games conclude. Celebratory photos, no doubt. Everybody really happy on the Rwandan team. They've worked hard. They corrected their mistakes, and most of all, they persevered. France gave them a good fight at times, and they earned that 7th place finish, there's no doubt. African champions Rwanda defeat host nation France 3-0 here in the 7-8 classification match to conclude their pool play for the 2024 Paris Paralympic Games. It was a strong showing by both teams, and they'll both be looking forward, even from this very moment, to their plans leading up to LA 2028. Both teams have a lot to work on. They know they want to finish even stronger at the next games, but it's a long road, but it'll be here before we know it. Definitive win for Rwanda, 25-9, 25-8, 25-11 over France.